I didn't know it did that.
So this is what's left of the inside of the chamber.
Wait, so that's that?
That's that.
Oh my gosh.
So we came across a boiler. It was completely plugged up with soot. We were here about a week ago. Found the firebox also was all falling apart. After further inspection, there was soot and stuff all blowing out of the firebox and out of some other gaps and crevices. This is the pieces left over of the gasket that holds the burner on. There was sections of that missing also, allowing the gases to leak out as the burner was firing. So we're going to get all that freshened back up and then start it up today and see how she runs. We also noticed some other safety issues. You can see there's a new draft damper. The shiny metal part, the old one, was all falling apart. Somebody had taped it together. Not very safe. It was almost falling off the exhaust, which will cause obviously exhaust leaks into the home, which is could be deadly. So got that all figured out last week, and then we're going to rebuild the fire chamber and be all set. So you're gonna look up Jack and Burnham. You remember which book to look at? Yep, that's the one right there. Get it open. So look up brand Burnham.
Yeah.
It's a RS112. So Jack's looking up the factory nozzle size and what they recommend for this size burner or boiler, and we're gonna replace it with that one. So the section that we were concerned with here is actually underneath this edge here. Jack, if you have my headlamp there, I could show him. So there's a crack or a crevice right in here that you can actually stick your finger in, and the smoke from the burner chamber was actually coming right out of there. So we're gonna get rid of that because once you see we take it apart, everything's all crumbling and falling apart. So once we get it opened up here, you'll see what we're talking about. That's the burner chamber, and you can see it's all crumbling and falling apart. So we're going to take it right out. Inside of there is actually, Jack, give me the headlamp again. There's actually a pile of soot inside of the burner. You can see in there it's filled about halfway up with soot. Shouldn't be that much in there. Shouldn't be anything in there really. Shouldn't be. It should be cleaned out every year. Alright, Jack, this is where we need that bag, the garbage bag. So we're going to open it up. I'm trying to move this as little as possible. Just put it right so I can just kind of scoop it and put it right in there. Try not to move this.
Are you just scooping the insulation out?
I just want to stir this all up.
Yeah. It's like the lint out of a dryer.
Yeah, pretty much. What I'll do, Gerald, why don't you'll go outside. This guy got to stir up some dust.
Okay.
You guys go out there and I'll take it out in one piece, and I'll bring that center piece out so you guys can video it out there.
Okay. I'm just staying here or go out?
No, go out. Just need the bag here, though.
Hey, you still need the light, sorry.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Good, thank you.
Smells like broken promises. Don't breathe this.
Hey, can you just flip my mask up? No, the bottom, the piece.
Oh, I didn't know it did that.
So this is what's left of the inside of the chamber.
Wait, so that's that?
That's that. So you can see from factory, it's nice and smooth. There's no cracks or crevices in the inside of the chamber. As it gets old, they start to spider crack and get crevices and cracks. And you can see where I'm wiggling here, how much it's actually cracked through the whole complete part of it. This was the biggest part of this whole unit I could actually remove from the system without it falling apart. So that's pretty much what was left over, what was inside that black hole. So not too safe, and it's going to dramatically shorten the lifespan of the system if it was left like this.
You want me to zip tie this and close it right up? Or?
Yeah, that's all set. Typically 15 to 20 years. In most cases, when that's ready to be replaced, unless there's something wrong with the system, the whole unit's pretty much at its last leg. This client had chosen to do their repairs versus the replacement, so we're going to get that all changed out, and the seals, gaskets back in, test fire, everything should be all set. So what we're going to do, Jack, is just vacuum out that whole inside.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be spotless, but we just want to get all the residue left that's in the bottom.
Yeah.
And then vacuum right in front of it, because that's all soot on the ground there also.
There's no other parts or bolts besides those 4 bolts?
That's it. Is that good like that?
That's good.
Yeah. Alright, Jack, so what you're going to do with that is, let me see, I'll show you. You can sit down. Stand it up in the back like this, and then you open these up, and unfold it. It may need to be closed up a little bit. It may be too wide for the back, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But I would start in the back, and you want to get it tucked into the corners, and then fold it open so it's laying flat against the back and side walls.
You good, Jack? Yeah, we're good. I'm probably covered in soot, so. we had to put on the black uniforms today because when you're dealing with this much soot and oil, you can't keep the whites clean. It doesn't happen. No matter how clean you try to be, you can't keep them clean.
I think the black looks pretty dope.
I love these black uniforms, but the problem is they don't make them anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so these are like 2 years old, and
Oh, wow.
mine are just beat. They're all ripped. Marissa yells at me when I wear one of them because one of them's got a hole like right here. But it's like, I love wearing them. They're comfortable.
Yeah, they look comfy.
So this is the burner box or burner chamber. And what we're doing is just applying a gasket, basically, almost like a silicone, at very high temp, around the whole top. Lift the chamber in there, it's going to seal against the metal on the top, right where it was leaking up front here before. We're just going to wrap things up here, get the burner mounted back in place, do a combustion test on it, see how it's running, maybe do some final air adjustments and fuel pressure adjustments, and then they should be back into good shape with this. Hopefully lasting a couple years for them.